How's it going, guys and gals? This is Jake with the Bayou Country Music Show, and today's guest, I'm joined by Mr. Dawson Edwards. How's it going, Dawson?
It's going good, man. How are you?
I'm doing fine, brother. Doing fine. Our listeners out there, Dawson is a current Nashville singer-songwriter, signed with BMG Nashville, and has been having a heck of a past year lately. So, Dawson, why don't you start off and tell us where you're from?
Where I'm from? I'm from a little town called Rome, Georgia. Technically, Armurchie. That's where I went to graduate from high school from there. It's about an hour north of Atlanta. Little bitty town, man. It's an old mill town. We ain't got a lot going on here, but yeah, that's where I'm from. Born and raised all 19 years before I moved to Nashville.
Rome, Georgia. I believe I've heard Jason Aldean say that one time or two on a song.
I think so. Ever been to Rome, Georgia, picking peaches off a tree?
Yes, sir.
That's it.
So at what age down there in Rome did you decide, hey, I love music, I want to write, I want to play, I want to be a musician?
I've always loved music. I mean, since I was a kid, I always loved music. I always could memorize words and songs, and my parents always thought that was crazy. But my dad, he's always playing like Waylon and Willie, and he's a huge Hank Jr. If it ain't Hank Jr., it ain't nothing to him. And my mom always played country music like on TV or Top 40 radio, GAC, all that stuff. And my dad he writes a little bit. He does I guess kind of like songs with no music, kind of I guess like poetry. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was awesome growing up. So I was probably 12, 13 years old. Started actually writing some with him, like writing on my own. And then when I got about 14, I was like, man, I want to get a guitar and put some music to this stuff, put some chords to these words we've been writing. So that's kind of how it all got started, I guess.
Awesome. So you mentioned, Hank Williams Jr. and the old, Waylon. And what my next question was going to be, what was some of your musical influences growing up, in Rome down there and listening to country?
Growing up, dude, we had like I said, Dad always played Hank. That was just kind of what he did, Hank and Waylon. That's how I got my dose of that stuff. And like I said, my mom just played like Top 40 radio, so that's how I got my dose of that stuff. But when I finally, when I found Eric Church, I knew Brantley Gilbert because he's from the North Georgia area too. I knew him when he was younger. I knew of him from a young age. Sam Hunt he was well known around here too because he's from Cedartown, which is right up the road from where I'm from. He was doing his thing, so Eric Church was my main guy. Back in the day, Eric Church and Brantley Gilbert, Eric Church is still my favorite right now, but my main guy is Eric Church and probably Brantley Gilbert growing up for me.
And how old are you, Dawson, for the listeners to know? Because, I'm saying growing up, I'm younger myself, about 24, and I love Eric Church, and I love all these guys, and listening to old stuff too, but it kind of hit me sideways when you said that, because it's like you talking out of my own head.
Yeah, man, I'm 21. I'll be 22 here in like a few weeks in May, but I'm 21 right
now. Wow. Now, you mentioned, and like I mentioned earlier, you're now in Nashville. When did you decide to up and move to Nashville and try to make a career out of it?
Oh, dude, it's pretty vivid. I remember me and my dad, we were watching the Opry, or like YouTube. I can't remember if it was YouTube or what it was, but Eric Church and Randy Houser played a show together at the Opry. This is like when I was probably 15, 16 years old. And Randy Houser played a song he had that didn't do anything on the radio or anything. It was called In God's Time. And he just had wrote it like 2 weeks before he played it on the Opry. And he played that, and Eric Church played Sinners Like Me acoustic. And I was just like, damn, that's exactly what I want to do for a living right there.
That's something. I love Eric Church, a really big fan, and I'm also a big fan of Luke Combs, and I remember reading a thing on his I think it was his Facebook or Instagram, and he had a picture of him in the watching Eric at a concert, and it was like 2-3 years before he had started writing and or started trying to be a musician, and he's like that Eric was the guy that pushed him, and then he ended up going on tour with. So it makes me happy, man. Obviously I support all music, country music, and all styles, but I'm a diehard, Eric Church. Just that lyrics that means something. They're from the heart. It's good music, and it's not, but yeah, bro.
He sings songs about dudes like us.
Exactly.
Just like guys like me. It's our kind of music.
Yep, guys like me. Yep, definitely. So moving to Nashville, what would you say was your first wow moment, like in Nashville, whether it be meeting an artist that was big time at the time, or just a scene or a place? What was the first wow, that you had experienced?
Man, I feel like I could have so many scenarios of that. Just in general, of like moving to Nashville and living in a big city, coming from where I came from, I was just like, wow, that is crazy kind of thing. And then, crazy enough, like the night I moved to Nashville, I didn't know Ray Fulcher, but I knew of him, and I actually had gotten his phone number through a mutual friend. And he told me to text him when I moved to town, so I literally texted him the day I got there, and he's like, yeah, dude, me and Luke Combs and Drew Parker, we're playing down here at this little place called Belcourt Taps. And, come on out, you're in. I was like, well, hell, all right. So this is back. This is 3 years ago. I'm coming up almost to the day. I moved to town May 19th of 15. So we're coming up on 3 years from that happening. But I went there at Belcourt Taps and watched Luke Combs and Drew Parker and Ray Fulcher sit there for like less than 10 people at a little bar in Nashville. So that was like a wow moment, just because I thought I knew of Ray and Luke and them before I moved to town. I was just like, wow, that's crazy. And then I remember I've been lucky enough to like meet and hang out with a lot of artists and writers, and I feel like every time, still to this moment, is a wow moment. I don't want that ever to go away, like I try to have a wow moment every day, I guess.
Yeah, and just a little insight for everybody. Like I said, I'm friends with Dawson, and I actually went and watched Luke when he played in Shreveport. I think it was in February this year. And as I'm walking out, I see Drew Parker standing by the merchandise table, and I looked at my girlfriend. I'm like, "Do you know who that is? That's Drew Parker just standing there." So I introduced myself to him, and I mentioned a few names and blah, blah. And the first name he recognized, I said Dawson Edwards. And he's like, I know Dawson. And I'm like, wow. So, folks, this guy's known in Nashville, if you haven't. And that's awesome, man. I'm pumped to say I know you myself, brother. And obviously, the big news of you signing with BMG Nashville, how did that come about? Like, tell us a little bit of insight on that.
I met so I kind of have an interesting story on that too. About 6-7 months into me moving to town, a big writer in Nashville named Ben Hayslip, wrote like Small Town Boy Like Me, Hunting and Fishing, Loving Every Day. I think he's got like 25 plus number ones, He messaged me on Instagram, and I about crapped my pants. I thought that was like the most outrageous thing of all time, but I posted an original song on Instagram, and he came on there, commented on it, asked a bunch of questions about it, and then he got me in touch with his publisher, and his publisher got me in touch with a guy named Robert Philhart, who has helped me get every meeting I've ever had in Nashville. And then I've been around a bunch of different companies, and whatnot, and then I met Daniel Lee, who is now my publisher at BSG. I met him in October of 16, and we met for exactly a year till October of 17, and that's when I got my deal offered to me, and then I signed it in December. So it wasn't like it was a quick process. It took a while. Even once I met Daniel BMG, it took a while,
Yeah. And man, obviously songwriting, I'm sure you have tons of songs you write and have artists pick up, and it's a hush-hush thing, but Is there any artist or that you would say that, or even songwriter that you would have a dream to collaborate with on a song?
Man, any of them. I love them. I would say Eric Church. Eric Church doesn't cut outside stuff, but if I could write a song with Eric Church and have him cut it or something, man, I think that'd just be the awesomest thing ever. Something like that. Any of the big writers in Nashville, I'd love to write with. I've been fortunate enough to write with some of them already, and I just don't take any of that for granted. So
definitely. And when you're writing songs, I mean, now especially with BMG, when you write a song, does it hit you like, I know exactly who this song is, who should sing this song, or who should cut this song, or is it just you writing from?
Not at all. Not for me, anyway. I know there are definitely writers in town that say, like, man, I want to write this song for Tim McGraw or Blake Shelton or whatever. And I have been in those kind of writes, but I perform better just writing a song, and wherever it lands, it lands. You know, I don't try to write a song for anyone specifically. I just write a song for that day, and whatever happens, who I'm writing it with, you know.
Definitely. And we've been talking about songwriting. Obviously, you're a very, very talented songwriter, man, but you're also a musician and an artist. Your EP's out on iTunes, Spotify, Half My Heart's in Georgia. It's a great EP, man. Love it. Be sure and look it up. I'll put some links to all that. Or do you have any new music in the works that you plan on cutting?
Man, right now we're cutting a lot of demos, you know, and my goal right now is to get cuts by other artists. It's my main goal. I'm playing out on the road at least two weekends of the month. It's like here in April, I'm on the road 3 weekends out of the month. I'm actually on the road right now, but you know, maybe we might hear some new music from me towards the end of 2018. You never know, but as of right now, I'm trying to get, you know, cuts from other people, other artists. So that's my goal right now.
Awesome. And you mentioned you're on the road performing right now. What are some of the shows? I believe you have a hometown show coming up this weekend, correct?
I have a hometown show this weekend and next weekend, which is kind of cool.
Awesome. And who do you have playing with you? Is it just going to be you and your band, or you got some other artists coming with you?
We got this one. I'm playing. This weekend's called the Relay for Life. It's actually it's at the Richbury Park here in Rome. It's where they have Rome River Jam and stuff. It's usually an awesome turnout. A few hundred people come out and stuff, and they've been great to me. My granddad passed away with leukemia a few years back, and it's got a special spot in my heart. So I always do that for them. They're always great to me. So I do that, and I do that every year in April, and it's always awesome. I love it. And then next week we're playing, and that's just an acoustic show. And then next week I'm playing opening for Mr. Joe Portner at the Brew House in downtown Rome. First time ever playing there, so that'll be cool.
Mr. Joe, he has a song out that's been out for a while, Stereotype, and I know, but some of these other listeners might. You actually had your hands in co-writing that song, correct?
I did. I know that one pretty good.
Yeah, it's a really good song, man. I listened to it, listened to Job's cut of it, and I was like, man, I've heard this song before, and I started going through my phone, and I remember seeing videos of you playing acoustically, and I was like, man, that's awesome.
Man, that's a cool one. We wrote that with some buddies, Brian and Alex and all them, Bobby and Joe. We all wrote that one together, and Joe, man, he's got one of the freaking best voices in town, and he's got the sky, more than the sky's the limit for him. He's
great,
killing it now on the road and everything. So
yeah, man, I'm looking forward to actually. I did an interview with Miss Hannah Dasher, one of a kind, and she was telling me about him, and looking forward to getting an interview with him and sitting and talk with him, and of course my other buddy Brian, that he's supposed to be contacting us soon to do a little interview. He's got a new single out too. So did you have a hand in helping write the new single that Brian has, or?
I did. I wrote that one with him and Ryan Nelson, another buddy of ours, but we wrote that one, I guess, either the end of last year or beginning of this year. I cannot remember, but we knew it was was like, well, hell yeah, I'm down for that.
And I was going to wait and plug it when I talked to Brian, but I'll go ahead and plug it here. It's called It Could Have Been You by Brian Fraser, available on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, all those outlets. Great song. Great song. And also, like I said, be sure and look up Mr. Dawson Edwards' music as well. One of my favorites, I know it's not a new one, is Wish I Was Lying. And I know he's got a few that he ain't cut yet that I wish he would. But hey, up and coming, we might be seeing some big things. And any news you got for us that you'd like to say? If it's a song you got coming soon that you wrote for somebody, or anything you can give us.
Nothing too wild. I guess they kind of in Nashville, everything's kind of hush hush. So there's a for sure on the back of a CD kind of thing. But I know I got 2 cuts on my buddy. Dev Hodges' album coming out here. I think he's planning on doing that in like May. I think the release date for that is. I got 2 cuts on that. I got a lot of my man. Fortunately, a lot of my friends and all my buddies, we're all cutting we're writing some good stuff, and everybody kind of in house cutting it. Stuff we're all writing on. So I'm fortunate for that. And so I guess that is 2 songs I got coming out there. But and then I'm just. Other news for me as an artist, I'm just out playing on the road, man. Whenever I can get a show, people that want to listen, I go out and play,
Awesome. And are you going to be playing at Alley Taps on the 31st in Nashville, on 31st of May?
Yeah, playing with the Red Barn Boys, Ashton, and I think Brian and Caleb and all them are playing, and a couple other guys are coming down. I can't remember their names at the moment, but
it's going to be Cody Forrest, Clay Cormier, Caleb Conrad, Brian, and yourself is what I see here. But
yeah, I think that's the crew that's going down. We're going to play there
for the Iceman.
Crack a few beers.
Yeah, man. I'm going to try and make it to that show, brother. And here, of course, I love all you guys, and get to talk with the Iceman and get to sit, go back to Nashville and have a good time. Yeah, but yeah, that's going to be a heck of a show too.
Yeah, that's going to be fun right there.
Now, would you say you rather perform local around hometowns where everybody knows your stuff, or obviously you play all over, but and you have to reach out and try? You play a lot of original music. I mean, which is a lot of good original music. But explain the difficulties. I know it has to be kind of frustrating. You get to a little small venue or something, and you're playing your original stuff, and these people might not know and not want to sing along. And is that something that's the struggle, or is it something that you just kind of used to?
Man, that's a battle we all fight. You can always get a guy to go up and sing Sweet Home Alabama all night long, and people are gonna love that. And and that's great, and I love that too. But I moved to Nashville and did all this stuff to sing my own songs, not really sing other people's songs. So I want to. It means a lot to me to have 10 people listening to a song I wrote at a live show, and it's what I do, playing original stuff. And I've been fortunate that people do enjoy my original stuff, so I usually get a good response from it no matter where I am. But there are times where people just do not give a crap about you if you're not playing Sweet Home Alabama or Wagon Wheel to them,
Yeah, definitely. Well, brother, I wish the best of luck to you at your show this coming weekend, man. If I could fly a plane down there, I'd go watch you.
Heck yeah.
But I just wanted to thank you for the time that you spent with us, brother, and I want to give another thank you to our sponsors, Cowboys Arena and Cowboys Nightclub. They have a lot of talent. Mr. Dawson himself played there a few weekends back. Great place and a great venue for music. This weekend they have Mr. Jamie Badger on the Kickin' Cajuns. It's going to be Friday. And Saturday they will have Mr. Blaine Roy playing. And you definitely will not want to miss that. And we appreciate them, and we appreciate you, Dawson.
Yeah, man. Thank you, dude. Thanks for you've done a lot for me over you and Red Barn and all y'all over the past few months with the hats and the merchandise and the shows and all that. So thanks for all of that stuff, man. And thanks for asking me to do this interview today.